Do you sometimes feel like you're trapped in a lot of noise and no one's listening? Or does your communication bring mutual understanding and is effective in you being able to get along with other people? Well, stick with me because this week in this episode, we're going to start our journey through the relationship management competency of communication by helping you to understand that you've got something to say and people want to listen. Hi, this is Grant Herbert, Emotional Intelligence Speaker and Trainer of the Year and Master Coach Trainer. And today I want to start this conversation with you around the emotional intelligence area of relationship management by helping you to understand that every voice matters. It's understandable why sometimes you might feel that no one cares what you're talking about, that you don't actually matter, and that no one's listening to what you've got to say. But when you develop these competencies that we're going to talk about over the coming weeks, you're going to be able to have mutual understanding where you understand that we all matter. And effective communication is going to help you to get the relationships that you want. To do this, it all starts with awareness. So what I want to do is this week, start the journey by unpacking with you 5 key principles that'll help you to understand the foundations of great communication. Over the weeks prior to this, we've been working through the competencies in emotional intelligence, around our own self-awareness, around our self-management. And before the end of last year, we looked at social awareness and looked at being more empathetic and serving others and working well in the social environment. There's a lot of communication going on right now out there in the world, which is not getting the result that we all need. There are things going on in the world for all of us. Yet what I'm seeing is the way that people are reacting to the things that are happening, the other things that people are saying that are different to them is really going off the rails. Now, I don't know about you, whether you see this as well, but what I want to do is make sure that I can help me and you to be a part of the solution rather than use our time together to speak about the problem. So let's have a look at these 5 principles right now. Number 1 is people are different. Wow, that's rocket science, Grant. That's something that I didn't know. What I'm talking about here is not knowing it as cognitive knowledge, but actually understanding that. And realizing that one of the keys to effective communication is to realize that we are communicating with people who are like or unlike us. And even in those who are like me are different to me because our experience and the way that we have navigated our journey, however long it's been so far, is different. So the first key in awareness around our communication is to take a look and ask ourselves, when I'm communicating with others, am I accepting the fact that they are different to me, that they might see the world differently to me because the experiences they've had are different to me? People are different. We're unique. We're not a carbon copy of everyone else. So therefore, we are going to think and communicate and behave differently. Number 2 is to celebrate diversity. How boring would the conversation around the world be if everyone was the same as you? There would be no discussion. It would be just stating facts. I like to look at it this way. I want to make sure that I look at the diversity, the differences there as a positive rather than a negative. Hey, if there's people in my team, in my family, in my world who have a different understanding of something than I have, then perhaps there's something I can learn from that. Now, I understand the root causes of human behavior that is threatened by people having a different opinion. And we're going to talk about those things as we go through the month. However, this is a foundational key. And the awareness that we all need is to go, am I celebrating the difference that this person or these people are bringing to this communication? Or am I seeing it as something of a roadblock or a barrier to be able to be heard and to get my points across and have that mutual understanding? Number 3 is to expand your interest. I don't know about you. In fact, I do, because you're a human being and we are wired to be self-centered. But I find that I need to really be aware of when my interest is only self-serving. When I'm looking to communicate or to have a relationship that is going to give me what I want without considering what others might want as well. So when I expand my interest, when you seek to do the same, when you become curious and ask more questions than make statements, when you want to find out more about the person and what their experience is and the lens from which they are looking through the particular communication that you're having right now, then you will be able to go through some of the strategies that I'm going to teach you in coming weeks and get a great result from your communication. People like to hear the sound of their own voice, and that's okay, so long as there's enough room left to be able to hear the voices of others as well. The 4th principle is to find common ground. A lot of communication that I see is people looking to see what is not the same as what they believe or what they think, and therefore to go on the offensive and to attack other people's points of view. I don't know about you, but I've had times when I've had conversations with people and I've not maintained my level of emotional intelligence. And then down the track, I've realized, hang on, we're actually saying the same thing. We're just coming from a different angle, and therefore both of us are missing out on what it is that we're saying. But when we seek to find a common ground, when we seek to find something that we agree on, the conversation can build. And therefore, when we do need to introduce something which may be a little bit controversial or may have a tendency of going against what the other person believes, it's more palatable because we haven't started on the wrong foot, where immediately we've looked at how we're different and how we are thinking about something totally different, or it's against what I believe. Common ground is one of the biggest nuggets of gold that you can find in every relationship and in every communication. And number 5 is to give to gain. So when we communicate, a lot of times, what you do is you seek to get your point across. You seek to make sure that you are heard, yet you do it in a way that you need to be communicated with. And therefore, the person on the other side or the people that you're communicating with may miss the intent, the heart, the meaning of what it is that you're saying. So by making sure that you give people what they need, you in turn will get that understanding that you want. So how do we do that? Well, over the coming weeks, I'm going to give you some practical strategies and tips to help you to be able to understand the other people, to be able to understand how to give them the communication packaged up in a way that they need it, so that they hear you, so they understand, and they can actually have a mutually beneficial conversation with you. Today was all about laying a foundation and realizing that communication is vitally important, and for us to understand that every voice matters, not just ours and not just theirs. Well, that's it from me for another week. Join me again next week as we continue this conversation and start to go deeper into this relationship management competency of communication by helping you to customize your communication, to be able to package it up in a way that will help you to get that mutual understanding, to be heard, and to have conflict removed and collaboration coming to the top. I'll see you then.